Hey, my name is Christina Cofran, and makeup artist on this film, Reformation. I was trying to get some looks for the changes in time in this film. There was some going forward in time and also back in time. Some of the looks that I was going for especially the bad guy in the film, was a very washed out, dark, morbid type of look. Someone who didn't really take care of himself initially. This was when he was, not doing so well, and then in future tense, he's a little bit more cleaned up. But so I tried not to make him look too fresh and too clean. Still have some type of a sinister look. The main character Brian, I really tried to make him look very youthful and fresh, and he was a very handsome guy, really easy to work with. So I didn't have to do too much to him in the past scenes, but in the future scenes, he was really going through a lot. So we really had to distress him and age him quite a bit. That was definitely more difficult makeup to do because he had such great skin. It was really tough making him look like an older man. Same issue with Rachel. Rachel's beautiful, and it was a big challenge to make her look like a person with a child. She was probably the hardest one to work with because her skin was so fresh and tight that you need a little bit of elasticity to make it more wrinkly. The great thing about both of them is that they were really easy to work with. So when I had to torture them and add latex and add alcohol and whatever I needed to do, they were wonderful, and the makeup came out fantastic. Some of the most interesting things that I found about the film were some of the locations and the way the lighting was set up. Some really memorable scenes, especially in the warehouse, where these beautiful lights were beaming from the windows down onto both Brian and Katie. It brought a sort of heavenly type of lighting to the situation, a really dark, sad moment. All of us who were watching, I remember we were all sort of holding our breath every time each scene was shot because it was, quite realistic. One of the other interesting scenes that I found were the church scene. I think that it was a tough scene for everybody because there was so much movement. Everyone was having a tough time with that, but it was really cool. I mean, I saw the playback and it looked amazing, it looked incredible, and I didn't expect it to come out that way, but it was a really cool area, I thought. My experience working with the cast and crew was really great because I spent so much time with everyone. We also got to travel together, and I roomed with the stylist Christina, who I got really familiar with, and she's an awesome person. Brian and Rachel were so humble and so flexible in all the crazy situations we put them in. Like, we had this house that felt like it was over 100 degrees for sure, and it was like glass house where the sun was just beaming in from all directions, and all of us were dripping in sweat, and these guys are like tearing at each other and they're falling on the floor, and poor Rachel just collapsed and went with it because I think we just shot the scenes over and over and over, and I was just looking at them like, man, that's dedication. I feel like it makes me care a lot more about what I'm doing as well, because when I see people like that still remain humble, they still remain super friendly, it just makes my job so much more fun. Katie is also another person that really sticks out in my mind because I've worked with children before, and she just didn't seem like your typical child. She's so eloquent, asking very specific questions about what I was doing to some of the other cast and crew, and she's such a, she's a charming girl. She's very, very opinionated and very forward, and you see her on screen, you'd never know that. The way I would describe this film, it's about regret. It's about trying to fix the past and, trying to redeem yourself from mistakes that you've made and somehow have a clean conscience, which none of us could probably ever do. It's real, it has a real life feeling to it. It's very, very intense. There's a lot of intense scenes, and I hope you guys enjoy it also.